What's up, motherfuckers? Didn't we be talking about a tweet that says if a CH player used steroids in order to gain an advantage for an FC, would you still count the accomplishment? 60% said yes, 40% said no. It was a poll, whatever. Um, I think it'd be good to make a video on this because, for one, I want to make more commentary shit. It's low-key fun for me. And two, I'm knowledgeable on the topic. I have experience with this shit. I don't have experience with taking steroids and playing Clone Hero, but performance-enhancing drugs, I was addicted to Adderall for a while. I haven't been in over a year, and so I couldn't say for currently, but from back then, my answer right now is no. I do not think it is an unfair advantage at all. Well, like, the answer to the poll is yes, but I say no, it's not unfair at all. I think it's perfectly valid, and my reasoning for this is, so I'm going to be talking about Adderall the entire time. Steroids, I would guess, I know they don't do the same thing, but the reason why you would take them for Clone Hero is the same for Adderall. And so from my personal experience with Adderall, it never made me, like, super good. Well, it's I don't know how to phrase it. So, if you play Clone Hero, you would know that you have days where you're playing like shit, maybe weeks, maybe months even. And then you have days where you're playing normal, and then you have days when you are absolutely fucking locked. Like, you are playing your peak skill, peak speed, all that shit. When you take something like Adderall, that is what it is every day, from my experience. You are always playing at your peak, like your speed. You're never, like, your speed cap doesn't get higher when you take Adderall. It just, you are playing at your peak speed 24/7 instead of, like, sometimes it will take like weeks to play at your peak speed one day, but when you're on shit like Adderall, you play at your peak speed 7 days a week. And this might seem unfair, but I don't think that it is. Because, say, for example, like, Ryan started doing Adderall. Ryan became a fucking cokehead. Ryan would still be worse than Shmooey. Even though he's always locked in peak skill, peak speed every day, he would still be worse than someone who's better than him. Like, now. When he's completely doesn't do any of that shit. By the way, I don't think I need to say it. Ryan doesn't do any of that shit. Ryan is the, like, most, I guess, quote-unquote, vanilla player in the world. Say somebody like Kanjay did, like, Adderall. Kanjay's, I'm talking tapping-wise here, because that's Ryan's skill set. Kanjay would still be a worse tapper than Ryan. And so even though they are both playing at their peak, like, peak Ryan is not better than Shmoo. Peak Kanjay tapping is not better than Ryan normal tapping. Okay? So it is never really like you're playing at a level you're not used to. There is one thing that may be a little bit sketchy, which, if you play Clone Hero, you know that the more difficult shit that you play, the better you get. That is the way that you improve. And so you are always playing at your peak, which means if you play harder shit, you're going to improve faster. Which could be, at a way, unfair, but I don't think it is, because improving is all mental, in my opinion, personally. Because you play shit that's harder, then you get pissed off because you can't hit it, then you dip out. If you play shit that's harder when you're on Adderall, you're going to keep improving. You're not going to get, like, pissed off, usually, and you're going to improve. And so I'd say that the one thing that performance-enhancing shit does is make you improve faster, but it is not, like, if you are better when you're on Adderall, or if you're on Adderall, okay, you FC some shit like Prevail. You then, when you're off Adderall, will still be able to FC Prevail. Unless it's a speed issue, then I don't really know what the fuck you're doing on Prevail. But it is always, you are always, I don't know how to, like, say this enough. You're always playing at your peak, but you're never playing above your peak. So a really good day when you are perfectly sober, nothing in your bloodstream, when you are playing at a really good day, that is Adderall every day. You are never going above your peak. You're never going above your skill cap. You're never going above your speed cap. You are always staying at the best you can be. Not the best that's like you possibly could be. It's the best that you could be and have been before. Unless you start improving, then yeah, like obviously. And so there is a comment in here that says if weed and alcohol counts, I think steroids are fine by, I don't know how to pronounce the fucking name. Which I would agree with as well. So people may think, oh, you play more shit when you're high, drunk. I don't know about drunk. I played high before, and I personally, it did almost the same thing as Adderall. And that is why some people, like, excuse my language, Frith, are always high when they play the game. Which may sound cope, but it is true. I would say if Frith wasn't smoking 24 fucking 7, he would not be as good as he is right now. He would have gotten there at some point, but not as fast as he did. And so I think if you are going to say some shit like Adderall isn't allowed, steroids aren't allowed, I don't think caffeine should be allowed. Because caffeine is nowhere near as strong as Adderall, but it's still, you're still above the rest. You are above just being like a normal human being with nothing in your system. Caffeine will lock you in. Maybe it's a little bit, maybe it's a lot. It'll lock you in somewhat. Weed, same thing. I don't know about Adderall. I'm pretty sure people play shit, or not Adderall, I meant alcohol. People play shit when they're on alcohol, I think. But like I said, I don't have experience with that, so I can't speak on that. So I would say either all of it is okay or none of it is okay. Caffeine, weed, Adderall, steroids, crack, all of that shit, that has to be okay or none of it's okay. Because if you are going to talk shit about somebody doing, with this example, steroids to FC something, and then you were over there like downing 3 bangs a day to FC something, it is the same exact thing. Which I won't even get started on Bang. It's Red Bull too, coffee, all of that shit. Bang is liquid Adderall, so I guess there's that. Yeah, so I hope that now, if there was anybody here that did not agree with me, now they will. Because I will say it one final time. When you play on Adderall or any performance-enhancing drugs, you are playing at your peak skill, like the best you have played before. You're never playing at a skill level that you have never played at before. You are not soaring to new heights. You're playing at your peak. You can gradually improve that peak, but you are playing at your peak. If you take some shit like Adderall, you are as fast as your peak speed will allow you to. If you've FC'd MMK before, some shit like, let's give that as an example. You've FC'd MMK before. Then you feel like, oh shit, I'm slow now, blah, blah, blah. Your speed is gone. But it's not gone, but you can't play at that speed anymore. Pop an Adderall, you can play at that speed that you have before. But you can't just then magically FC like MMK 105. Like say Archwick started doing like coke, he would be FCing MMK 105. He would not be getting 110 because that's his peak. So yeah, just any other bullshit y'all want me to talk about, I'm so fucking down. But peace.